All right, let's talk allergies. If you are just so done battling them with the same old stuff, then you are in exactly the right spot. Today, we're going to climb what I call the ladder of relief. It's a modern guide to allergy treatments, and we're covering everything from simple fixes all the way to some seriously cutting-edge science.
Ugh, right? The runny nose, the itchy eyes, that constant sneezing. Does that sound a little too familiar? That's the stuff that can just ruin a perfect day. It's the classic sign your immune system is kind of going haywire, freaking out over things that are totally harmless. And look, if you feel like you've totally hit a wall with those over-the-counter pills, that is exactly what this is all about. We are going way beyond the pharmacy aisle here to lay out a real path, a map, if you will, to finding relief that actually lasts. So here's the game plan. First, we'll get into why we even need this whole ladder of relief idea. Then we start climbing. We'll kick things off with your first line of defense. After that, we'll get into how you can actually retrain your immune system, check out some really advanced treatments, and wrap it all up by helping you figure out where you might be on this ladder. Okay, so section 1, when pills aren't enough. I mean, why do those pills sometimes just not cut it? Well, antihistamines are great, don't get me wrong. They're awesome at blocking the chemicals that make you feel awful. But, and this is a big but, they're just a temporary fix. They don't actually change the root cause of the problem. And to do that, yeah, we got to start climbing.
All right, rung number 1, your first line of defense. And what's interesting is that the very first, most foundational step on our ladder, it isn't a pill or a spray. Nope. It's all about mastering your environment and taking control of the very air you're breathing. Just think about this for a second. Your home's heating and cooling system, even the AC in your car, what do? They recirculate air. Now, if those systems are dirty, they literally become allergen delivery systems. They're just constantly pumping dust, pollen, pet dander, even mold spores right back at you. It creates this vicious cycle that makes you feel like your allergies will never end. So you've got to break that cycle. Simple as that. For anyone, and I mean anyone dealing with allergies, changing your home's HVAC filters every 1 to 3 months is absolutely non-negotiable. Seriously, it's one of the easiest and most effective things you can possibly do. And hey, you can even level this up. Don't just stop at swapping the filter. A real deep clean, I'm talking washing the vent covers, getting in there with a vacuum and a brush attachment, that can make a massive difference. And here's the pro tip. Make sure you replace that old filter with a high-efficiency HEPA filter. That's the good stuff that traps all those tiny invisible irritants. Okay, so you've got your environment under control. What's next? Well, we're moving up to rung number 2. This is a big one, retraining your immune system. We're talking about immunotherapy. And this is not about just managing symptoms anymore. This is about changing the game entirely, changing how your body fundamentally reacts to allergens in the first place. And this quote from allergist Dr. Weber nails it. He says it's truly disease-modifying. That's the magic phrase right there. What he means is that this isn't just another Band-Aid. It's one of the only treatments that actively works to make you less allergic over time. It's a long-term fix. So how in the world does that work? The best way to think about it is like a vaccine, but for your allergies. Your body gets these tiny, super-controlled doses of the very thing you're allergic to, whether it's pollen or dust mites, and over time, your immune system just learns. It learns to tolerate it instead of going into full-on attack mode every single time. Now, when it comes to immunotherapy, you've basically got 2 main paths, and this chart lays it out perfectly. You've got allergy shots on one side, the classic approach. They're awesome because they can treat a whole bunch of different allergies all at once. Then, on the other side, you have these dissolvable tablets that go under your tongue. Super convenient, you can do it at home, but the catch is they only work for a few specific things right now, like grass, ragweed, and dust mites. So, looking at that, it brings up the obvious question, right? Which one is right for you? And honestly, the answer really just boils down to your specific situation, what you're allergic to, and what fits your life. Let's break it down to make it super simple. You should probably consider allergy shots if you've got a whole laundry list of allergies: trees, grass, dust, dander, the whole shebang. But if your life is made miserable by just one main thing, like ragweed, and you'd love to just do your treatment at home, then those sublingual tablets could be a perfect fit. Oh, and it's worth noting they're also seen as a safer bet if you've had severe allergic reactions in the past. Okay, deep breath. We are now climbing to the very top rung of the ladder, rung number 3, the next frontier. We're talking about biologics. Now, for some people, even immunotherapy isn't quite enough to get the job done, and that's where these incredibly advanced treatments come into play. They're usually for those really severe, persistent allergies that just don't respond to anything else.
So what are biologics? Forget about general antihistamines. A better way to think of these is like smart missiles for your immune system. I'm serious. They're these highly specific therapies, usually monoclonal antibodies, that are engineered to hunt down and block the exact parts of your immune response that are causing all the trouble.
And this chart really shows you just how precise we're talking. For example, you've got omalizumab, which goes after something called IgE. That's the antibody that basically starts the whole allergic chain reaction. Then there's dupilumab, which blocks two key proteins that cause inflammation. And others go after specific inflammatory cells. You see, they each have a very, very specific target. Now, you might hear about these biologics being used for things like severe asthma, and that's true. But here's the cool part. The science shows why they're also super effective for nasal allergies, because they go after the root of the inflammation. By, say, reducing those IgE levels we just talked about, they stop the release of histamine, and that's what's causing all that sneezing and misery in the first place.
All right, so let's bring it all together and find your step on the ladder. We have climbed this thing from the absolute ground floor, just cleaning your vents, all the way up to the seriously high-tech world of biologics.
So here's that ladder again, in a nutshell. Rung 1, control your environment. That's your foundation. Rung 2, retrain your immune system with immunotherapy for a long-term fix. And rung 3, for those severe, tough cases, you've got targeted biologics. But here is the absolute most important takeaway from all of this. Please remember, these aren't just isolated options on a menu you can pick and choose from. It's a progressive path. You start at the bottom and you climb up as needed. And this is key, you do it with your allergist. They're the ones who can help you figure out exactly what your triggers are and find the perfect step on this ladder for you. So, there you have it. You now have the map to allergy relief, all the way from dusty air vents to these incredible monoclonal antibodies. The power really is in your hands now to go beyond just trying to survive allergy season and to start finding real, lasting relief. So the only question is, what's your next step?